Okay, this is Mike with M&N Videos, and today we are riding from Corolla down to Hatters, and we may or may not catch the ferry to Ocracoke. So, okay, so here in just a minute, we're going to turn from 12 North, we're heading south on 12 North, onto 168, onto the bypass. I'm not going to take the Ocean Road down. So, straight across from us is the visitor center for the Outer Banks. And to our right is the bridge we came in on. So one thing I will say about riding down here, or driving for that matter on the island, you have to watch for turning cars. They don't care down here. They will cut you off in a heartbeat. It's worse than just about anywhere I've ever been. So coming up on our right here is the Wright Brothers National Memorial, the celebration of flight. Can't really see it well from the roadway. I was watching one of the YouTubers I follow, and he brought up an interesting point, how it's a flight innovation and celebration of flight, and yet you can't fly a drone there. Coming up here on our left is a Outer Banks original over there. That is the original brew-through, drive-through beverage and package store. And here on the left is Kitty Hawk Kites. And they do all sorts of kites and hang gliders, or all that stuff. And they do them from the dunes up there. They give classes and everything else. Maybe on the way back they'll be out and we can get a few pictures of that. So here we are getting ready to turn south on 12 South from the bypass and head on down. This little visitor center up here on the right is the last rest stop area. Okay, we're officially on 12 South. Not a whole lot of entrances and exits to it, but where there are, I have to watch for slow moving traffic. Up here on our right is the entrance to the Bodie Island Light. A number of years ago they moved it due to beach erosion where it was, so to be in a safer spot. I don't know how well you can see it over there. It's one of what I believe is 3 on this section of the Outer Banks. You got the Currituck, you got the Bodie, and down further south you'll have the Hatters Light. So here we come up on Oregon Inlet. Got a small campground there to the left, pretty basic. Coast Guard station here on the right. A lot of fishing charters here on the right. And the Oregon Inlet beach access here on the left where that silver truck's at. They're in the process of putting a new Oregon Inlet bridge in. Should be ready in a few years. And it's looking like it's going to be taller than the old one. Looks like most of it will be the highest, or average about the highest the old one gets. It's supposed to last a lot longer too. New bridge really kind of messes with the scenery from the old bridge. But I guess once you're on the new bridge and you're up there, you won't have to worry about that. The scenery from up there will be great. As we come off the bridge here very shortly, up here on the left you can see a old Coast Guard station, not used. Looks like dune replenishment's done well this year without a whole bunch of the big major storms. Something you will want to watch for when you're riding out here on Pea Island, two things really, is sand on the road, because dunes on both sides are so close to the roadway. And if you've had a lot of heavy rain, there can be water on the road as well. And even a day like today where we only have about 10-mile-an-hour winds, you can see, feel some of that sand hitting your face and going across the road. So either a tall windshield or a face shield on the helmet's a great idea down here. So about 8 years, a hurricane came through down here. Really changed some of the landscape. Basically, it not only washed out the road here, but there was a Coast Guard station over here on the left where that big beach is. And basically where all that sand is all the way through to the back bay, it washed everything completely out, including the road and everything else. So I don't know if they've refilled it or it's naturally filled back in since then, but they had to construct this bridge because it couldn't cross. You had to go around by boat. A lot of this roadway down here is just right at or just above sea level. Okay, getting ready to come into Rodanthe up here. It's Rodanthe, Waves, and then Salvo. Technically 3 small villages, although it's hard to tell where one ends and the next begins. And it's all in the space, I think, of about 2.5 miles. So some of y'all might have recognized that house back there on the right from the movie Nights in Rodanthe. Used to be on the other side of the water till that big hurricane came through that I told you about. They were just barely able to save it and move it across the street. So it'll be around a few more years. Skate park back there is new. Not doing too bad considering how much rain we've had as far as seeing water on the roadway. A little bit back there. Coming up here is there are a number of little campgrounds through here, although if you've got a bigger rig like we do, I wouldn't necessarily recommend most of them. Coming up here shortly is going to be 2 of them. Two of the big ones, or the 2 big ones, both the KOA and, well, that's new and ugly. That thing's just ugly. Anyways, as I was saying, the 2 campgrounds up here, one's the KOA and the other is going to be a good sand park. Oh shoot, I have to wait and tell you as I come past it. Camp Hatters, and they got sound side and base or Oceanside and sound side. I've stayed on both, and although we had a great campsite per se on the beach side, I find the sound side just as nice, if not nicer, and a better value for the money. Well, that was Camp Hatters right back there, and here on the left is the KOA, not far apart. Okay, here we come into Avon. Next little village coming on down through here. We're riding down through here, and it's still in Avon. A lot of nice houses down here. Some of them are rentals, some of them are people that actually live down here. Something you'll notice if you come to the Outer Banks is everything's done by mile markers. If you just hear mile marker whatever, say 10, they're talking about it being on the 168 or 12 south. Sometimes you'll hear mile marker 10 on the beach road. Well, that's the actual, like it says, the actual beach road, not the bypass. And then you'll hear maybe mile marker 5 on 12 north. And 12 north is what goes up to Southern Shore, or from Southern Shores up to Duck and Corolla, Corolla Light, Corolla. But a lot of times they use mile markers to get you in the vicinity of their business. So mile marker 12 or 12 and a half. It's a lot easier than trying to find a street address down here. Up here on the right, I don't see them out today, but it's a favorite of the kite surfers. It's really fun to watch them out here. See one of the rental trucks. Maybe on our way back north there'll be some out here. They can really get some speed up, do some cool tricks. See one way out there on the water. I'm not sure if it's coming up on the camera though. So I don't know how well you can see it up there in the distance on the camera. Is the the Hatteras Light in Rodanthe. Scratch that, that's not Rodanthe, it's Buxton. I don't know why I mixed that up. My last job, I was down here twice a week. I had customers down here. So I will say this, if you're coming down for the ferry to Ocracoke, you're going to want to check the NC DOT website for your ferry times. It leaves from both here and Ocracoke about every hour and 15 minutes. They say it's about an hour-long ferry ride in between. See out over there to the right, the ferry coming in. I've only actually taken the ferry once. They're pretty good size. I took it before I started doing my vlogs, so never actually recorded on it. It was a pretty nice ride though. Pretty interesting. So the traffic pattern here is a little funny. Because of the ferry. So just pay attention to the signs. And this is Hatteras Landing. Okay, we're back in Rodanthe, and we're going to stop up here at Stingray's Bar and Grill. It's one of our favorite little places to eat down here. Great steamed shrimp. So there's a whole different shot of Oregon Inlet. Coming back the other direction, you can see it better out here. Tried to stop and have lunch earlier. Stingray's wasn't open for lunch, so we're going to come up here, and this is going to be our first time trying this Sunset Grill and Raw Bar. Okay, we're almost back up to Corolla. We're in Duck right now, headed north on 12. We tried the restaurant there. That was just absolutely awesome. If you're ever in there, I'd highly recommend those Bang Bang taco or shrimp tacos. Those were good. So are the onion rings. Anyways, it's been Mike with Imminent Adventures, and hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, go ahead and hit like, subscribe for more similar videos as we travel around. So y'all have a good day, and we'll see you out there.